"I still don't understand why we hired these humans," said Zilsha as she observed the newest employees on the Galaxy Drive production floor. "Their resumes are less than impressive and they seem, well, a bit odd." But her boss, the production manager Krez, folded his frontal appendages pragmatically. He had questioned the decision to hire humans too, but upper management had been adamant. "The executive said, we need more out-of-the-box thinking around here," Krez explained. "Apparently humans are known for their creativity in the manifold systems." Zilsha glanced skeptically at the 3 humans who were supposed to be assembling transmission coils. 2 of them were tossing a rubber ball back and forth, while the 3rd human was gyrating in a strange fashion with headphones on. "They look positively lunatics," Zilsha grumbled. "I give them a time frame of a 16th of a rotation before we have to let them go. I bet production output decreases with these clowns bumbling around." But to Zilsha's surprise, integrating the humans did not negatively impact the well-oiled Galaxy Drive operations. Thanks to the advanced auto-assemblers and AI-guided robotic arms, the highly precise manufacturing process ran flawlessly regardless of the humans' distracting antics. While Zilsha constantly had to corral the humans back to their workstations, they seemed cheerful enough to comply, and they took quickly to operating the user-friendly auto-assembler controls. Still, she thought they spent far too much time joking, tossing things, and making odd whooping sounds for no reason. However, the first big shock came a month later when the orb compensator on Unit 5 broke down unexpectedly. Once again, Zilsha found the humans abandoning their posts, this time to gather around the damaged Unit 5, tinkering with its internal components. "Just what exactly do you think you're doing?" Zilsha demanded, appalled by such reckless behavior. "Step away before you cause irreparable harm." "Relax, we're fixing it," said Bray, the lanky human who was constantly fiddling with objects. "Fixing it," said Zilsha in disbelief. "You know nothing about orb compensator mechanics or transmission theory." "Yeah, no clue," Bray agreed amiably. "But Jimmy here is great at figuring stuff out." He gestured to the smallest human, who gave an awkward wave. Jimmy's childlike stature and slow speech had initially led Zilsha to assume something was cognitively wrong with him, but the other humans had reassured her Jimmy was merely different, a concept she still struggled to grasp. "The doohickey was loose, so I'm going to tighten it up," Jimmy said proudly. Zilsha balked in horror as Jimmy picked up a microfuser tool and leaned towards Unit 5's exposed orb compensator. "Do you know that module costs over 50,000 galactic credits?" she exclaimed shrilly. "If you incompetent bunglers break it, the repair expenses will be subtracted directly from your meager salaries." But less than an hour later, Zilsha watched in shock as the humans reassembled Unit 5 and powered it back on. She rushed to inspect Jimmy's work, expecting charged circuitry or fused components. But no, somehow, incredibly, the realignment was flawless. Unit 5's orb compensator now rotated with near-frictionless fluidity. Zilsha shook her head in stunned disbelief. Perhaps there was something to this whole human creativity concept after all. Over the next year, overall production efficiency at the Galaxy Drive facility improved by nearly 8%, a gain their regional manufacturing hub had never achieved prior. Zilsha began to take notice of just how uniquely skilled the humans were at their roles. Jimmy, for instance, had an incredible knack for spotting minuscule errors and defects in the transmission coil fabrication process. His adjustments introduced several tolerance improvements that substantially boosted the coil's sensitivity and responsiveness. And whenever the auto-assemblers broke down, Bray was always the first to open up their internal circuitry and identify elusive issues. Production time losses due to mechanical failures dropped dramatically thanks to Bray's diligent maintenance work. Meanwhile, the sole human female, an eccentric named Sally who hummed odd melodies while she worked, began submitting some very strange requests to engineering. She wanted to apply decorative decals and colored patterns onto the transmission coils instead of using Galaxy Drive's standard uniform gray. "Our customers value consistency and reliability, not these flights of fancy," Zilsha lectured her. But Sally was insistent. "Just trust me, people will love items with more pop." Out of sheer curiosity rather than optimism, Zilsha decided to indulge Sally by allocating spare materials to her whimsical art side projects. But to her immense surprise, corporate HQ caught sight of the stylishly painted coils and immediately put in a bulk order for 100 custom units. Apparently, several major clients were quite taken by the delightful colors and artistic touches augmenting core product functionality. When HQ requested new aesthetic designs every quarter going forward, Krez promoted Sally to head up the newly formed Creative Innovations division. He also tripled the humans' salaries, much to Zilsha's envy and outrage. Those illogical creatures now earned higher compensation than senior engineers. But the executive's excitement was far from over when Galaxy Drive released its newest luxury sedan model. Equipped with precision-tuned coils from Jimmy and Sally's custom designs, sales figures went interstellar. Auto journalists applauded the vehicle's seamless handling and unparalleled transmission responsiveness. Customer satisfaction surveys reported a 98 approval rating of transmission performance and ride quality, a rating never before achieved by any Galaxy Drive offering. How did those humans keep doing it? Their methods made zero logical sense. They spent nearly half of each work cycle joking around, playing primitive games or conversing about inane topics instead of focusing on productivity. And yet, somehow, those same humans possessed an undeniable magic touch when it came to anything mechanical or creative. Their wiggly, dexterous fingers could repair a broken shunt regulator in minutes or paint colorful swirls onto coating layers with artistic talent no Bazorian could match. As Zilsha passed the humans' workstation one afternoon, she paused to observe their perplexing behavior. Jimmy was happily assembling a transmission coil while simultaneously scribbling pages of arcane computations with one hand. Strange pictographs covered the margins. Were those infantile doodles of little aliens and spaceships? Meanwhile, Sally had painted a mural of a fanciful alien landscape across the entire break room wall. Outside on the recreation lawn, Bray was trying to teach a group of bemused Bilzorians how to play catch with that ridiculous rubber ball from Earth. Zilsha's facial fronds fluttered in distress as she surveyed the scene. There was no standardized order, no perfectly logical workflow being adhered to, and yet she couldn't remember the last product malfunction or process improvement opportunity even being logged. Every vehicle that came off the line ran flawlessly thanks to Jimmy's adjusted specs. The demand for Sally's artistic custom designs was still climbing steadily, and engineering ticket volume had dropped by 63% over the past 3 cycles thanks to Bray's infrastructure optimization efforts. As much as Zilsha hated to admit it, the humans had enhanced operational efficiency and job satisfaction across the entire corporation. She slowly backed away from the chaotic spectacle unfolding around the chatting, laughing humans. Perhaps her species would never fully comprehend these gangly mammals. To Bilzorians, the humans seemed almost too creative for their own good. Thank the manifold for quantum fluctuations, Zilsha thought. Thank goodness her staid company had been willing to take a chance on these quirky yet gifted creatures. Who knew what spectacular innovations might yet lie ahead with the humans unleashing their eccentric creativity upon the galaxy?